Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of the program brought to you by Benedict Construction. If you need more room in your family room, a bigger kitchen, if you need a new deck out back, people to call, Benedict Construction. You've seen the set they've built for us, and they had never built a television set, and let me tell you, a lot goes into it in terms of the lighting, the nooks, the crannies, the angles, the reflections, all of that stuff. They drew this thing up and did a beautiful job with it. Benedict Construction. I know they've done work for Mike Strange down there as well. So, Benedict Construction, if you need remodeling help. All right, want to take a look over at our big board. By the way, I do want to say coming up, we're going to talk about something Jarrett Garantano said, a bit of a guarantee. We'll also talk about Butch Jones. These guys are talking. Is anybody listening? But look over there at the Benedict Construction big board. There's your schedule. September, October, November, for those who can't figure that out. I want to know, realistically speaking, and yes, I realize technically they could go 15-0, technically they could go 0-12. Realistically, let's start with the worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario for this team, in your opinion? Record-wise, Bob Hodgson will go through the panel. 6-6 is your worst case scenario.
My worst case scenario.
Okay, Josh.
Worst case, I would say 5-7.
I'm going to go 5-7 as well.
5-7.
Okay. Mike, worst case?
5-7.
Okay, so we got a bunch of 5-7s, 1 6-6. In terms of best case,
I'm the optimistic.
You are the optimistic. Best case scenarios. Looking at that schedule, best case scenario.
Best case scenario, I would say 10-2.
Wow.
Well, I mean, now that's absolute best case.
See,
absolute.
Maybe I do the realistic thing that we talked about. Okay.
I mean, no. I mean, my realistic scenario and my best case are two different things.
Well, realistic best case. Is what I'm
Okay, my realistic best case is 8-4.
Okay, 8-4. Which is more?
I mean, you said best
Let's
case.
say 9-3.
Okay, go with 9-3.
Does that work for you? Okay.
So 12-0 is unrealistic?
That's
In your
unrealistic.
opinion? I would say 9-3.
9-3.
Well, I was tempted to go 10-2 with Bob because you
That
can't.
makes it, if you go 10-2, then that'll be two of you doing it, and we'll allow it.
I'm not, but I mean, okay, you rule out Alabama, and then you could go 11-1. Well, you're going to mess up somewhere along the line, so that's why I was going to go 10-2, the guaranteed mess up. Well, I'm going to go 2 guaranteed
Mess ups.
So now I'll go 9-3.
All right. Now, everybody else go 9-3. Do you want to go back to 10-2?
The ultimate, to me, best case they could do would be 10-2.
Okay.
That is what I think the best case for them that would be.
You are the optimist.
Alabama is not going to happen. I don't think you go down to Florida and win either. But if you look at the rest of them, you could make an argument that you could win the other games.
Put me down at 10-2 with Bob.
Okay.
Can I change mine? Just kidding.
So most of us view it as somewhere between 5 and 9 wins. You're the optimist. You say 6-10. You say 5-10. You get the biggest range.
Yeah.
My question, I guess, would be not is that good enough. We'll have plenty of time to discuss that over the coming months. But in terms of the fan base, what do you think their expectation is right now? We're saying worst case 5, best case 9. Where do you, and some of you 10. Where do you think?
Well, that's not my expectation. That's my best case scenario.
Okay. Best case scenarios. Where do you think best case scenarios for the not the fire eaters, but the regular fan, the average Joe that might not be calling in or tweeting?
I think 10-2 would
You
be
think?
the average Joe. Best case scenario would be 10-2.
I think they would say 9, maybe 10 wins. So I think it would be similar to what we
we've
just
done.
heard. Yeah.
Whatever it is now, you can add 2 by September 1st.
Oh, sure.
Having said that, I'm going to say 9 or 10.
Yeah. Agreed?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think that. But you gotta really emphasize that word realistic.
Yeah. Well, and best case.
And best case.
That's best case.
Yeah.
9 or 10 wins. I don't think, if you're taking best case out of it, I think it's between, I said 9 wins best, 5 wins worst. I think it's going to be 7 wins. I think you may pull 8, but
That would be the over/under number for me. If you were wanting to bet on Tennessee's wins, I would say 7 and 5. And do you bet it'll be better, or you bet it'll be worse? Because
7.5.
I think, yeah, I think that's right there where they're going to be.
I think in the summer when those Vegas lines start to come out, we look at win totals for what's going to happen. I'll bet it's around 7.5.
Yep. I think 7.5. All right. So we're all over. I hope you were making notes. When we come back later, we're going to talk about Jarrett Garantano, who made a bit of a guarantee, if you want to call it that. But up next, briefly, we're going to break away and talk a little basketball. When you look at what's going on in the SEC, 3 teams in the Elite Eight, top recruits coming in, does it impact our view on Tennessee's NCAA tournament chances next year? More football to come, basketball next. See you on the other side of this break.